don't know how I got this so tangled like this. What are you saying? What are you trying to say? So this is the final results, the final look. Welcome back, friends. It is Lauren the Soap Witch, and it is time for another wash day. It's been a minute. Life has been lifing, okay? And so, though I have not shared any wash days, and I have missed filming a couple of wash days, I have not missed any wash days. I have, however, missed, what are these? Hot oil treatments, okay. I've missed like 2 or 3. I done lost count. So let me tell you, because it's gonna be an extended one, okay? And usually I do them at the beginning of the month, but well, I haven't. And so I'm gonna just catch y'all up if you're interested. If you're not, you can just fast forward to see all the stuff you want to see. I added titles because I figured that out, a month ago. Anyway, so this is what I'm working with. This was my refresh from, I don't know, 3 days ago. You know how often I do it. So I'm gonna just take this down. It's almost time for me to get my hair trimmed. Let me just start off by interrupting myself because I'm so good at that. But this curl then got tangled up at the bottom. Oh, I don't know how I got this so tangled like this. Okay, an hour and a half later. Don't ask me. Anyway, where the hell was I? Life has been this was my last refresh. I ain't video that neither. But anyway, so life has been life, and so I'm gonna just I'm gonna catch y'all up. So at the end of January, I think it was the end of January, I missed posting a video. Actually, I think it was the beginning of, it don't matter. I posted a video, okay? What had happened was that video that I posted, posted it. It was like Thursday. And I usually try not to post that late in the week, but life was life, and even then. And so I got it posted. I go to the Y typically on Thursdays, do my high intensity cardio class. We may have talked about that a few times here. And when I got out of my class, I had an email from the YouTube people. Was like, you violated our policies, we deleted your channel. Like, what? It was like the spam and scam and whatever, deceptive something policies. I was like, you're crazy. What? So I wasn't really in the mindset to deal with it. Things are going to hell in a handbasket really quick. And I had suspicions on what had happened because, I've had this channel since 2019. And my initial intention with it wasn't really I wasn't trying to necessarily grow the channel or be some influencer. And I don't consider myself an influencer, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. But that's all down, I think, mostly. But I used to just blog on my website about my journey, my hair journey. This was still when I was at the beginning of the 2019 journey. And I had started blogging, and I was blogging with like pictures and still images. And so I had decided that I wanted to do video. So I would do snippets of video, post them on YouTube to have a place to like store the video or host the video, whatever. And then I would post that video on my website, because my website, most websites, I guess, don't host video like that. I can only embed videos on my website. Let me not make the same mistake on this side, okay? Because that was 45 minutes I can't get back. Anyway, long story short. But since 2019, I have done this sort of similar type of video. I feel like they have matured some, I hope. But it's always been either I'm showing you my hair journey, I'm showing you these products I made, I'm showing you my hair journey. That's pretty much been it. And it's always been, in my opinion, very straightforward that's what I'm doing. I feel like I say that in the videos. And there are usually links in the description for people that are interested in checking out what I did, what I made, what I have, whatever. If it's applicable. On the cooking videos, obviously not necessarily, because I'm just cooking. So in the description, it may be like a link to the recipe. Okay. I was kind of in a trash headspace at the time. And so I was like, at the time I was just kind of feeling like I'm tired of having to feel like I have to fight for everything that I get. And I was like, whatever, you keep the damn channel. Now that mindset and feel didn't last as long as I thought. Because at the time I'd be real melodramatic. I am Lauren, I'm melodramatic. So like in the moment I'm like, I don't care, forever, you know. So I had a friend that I had talked to about it, a very good friend, a very long time friend, and he had offered to help me with editing. We haven't started any of that yet, so if you think all my editing is crap, don't hold it against him. He hasn't started yet. But we're doing a trade because he really wants to get some experience with doing some videos that are like, product based, that kind of thing, which is obviously okay. And in return for the experience, I get help video editing. I'm like, heck yeah. And so I reached out to my friend and I was like, you might want to hold off on doing any editing because I don't got a YouTube channel no more. He's like, what? What's happened? And so I told him what the message was, and he said, it doesn't make any sense. Like, there may be some people that deserve that, but you're not one of them, And he's not just saying that because we're friends. It's like, he had looked at my stuff, he had seen my content, and he's just like, it doesn't make any sense. And he was like, well, have you got any like strikes or whatever before? I was like, never, not one. I honestly think that just, so here's just, I'm not like trying to directly point fingers at anybody because I don't know that any one person in particular was responsible, but like I have been attempting to be more outgoing, and I usually am only used to be under my business page because that's where I was doing everything. I was uploading my shorts and obsessively checking numbers to see if anybody look. I'm not the only one that does that. I don't really do that so much anymore because it's not healthy, but I was always on that account. And so I still follow a lot of my favorite YouTubers from that account. And sometimes I would comment. They would always be positive, though, like I'm not one to spread negativity. And so like maybe some people feel like they have a reason for like downvoting a video or whatever. I just think it's hating. But you're never gonna see it from me. Okay. And so like, but on occasion I would get like downvotes, mostly on shorts, never really on the larger videos. Just like, what do you find so offensive about my 30-second hair video? But whatever. For the most part, I would just ignore them. But then I started kind of branching out more and like commenting on some of my favorite YouTubers' channels. Like, I watch a lot of hair content. We may have talked about that before. Hey, I'm Lauren. I'm obsessed with hair content. Like, so I see some people commenting saying I can only watch so many wash days. Not me. I watch every single one. I follow a bunch just in case some people get tired of posting. I still have people to watch. There's just something I find really relaxing. I don't know about watching us do our hair. I think I've said that before. I don't need to say it again. But anywho, let me actually get on to doing this so I can go to bed because I'm kind of tired. I look tired. Don't answer that. So I'm going to start. I've already parted this down the middle because of the way I had did my refresh. Anyway, so I'm just going to put this side up and out of the way, and we'll work on it later. Okay, not that much later, but and then I like to spray a little water. I can't spray the first time. Look at that. Oh my God. Anyway, spray a little water here just to help me separate this down the middle a little easier without tearing up my hair. I just want to be gentle when handling the hair. Okay, so now that I am going to get back to it, I promise. But I did come here for, hair. And to eventually be done with it sometime, sometime. Anyway, so now that I've gotten that up, I think, what is it doing back? It doesn't matter. I'm going to wet this more. I don't want to completely saturate it, but I do want it. Damn. I feel like that's good enough. It's going to be good enough because I don't want to do it anymore. I just take my hands and massage the water in there. All right. And then I'm going to take a cute anointing. That's what I'm using. That's what I'm always using. And I'm going to make sure I open the top. This time it's a nice applicator top. And then I'm going to just start applying it to my scalp, just like this. Every week I apply too much, even though I don't intend to. And then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to just rub that right in, just like that. The scalp really loves the massage. And so, and also let me just specify, this is not a hair growth oil. I'll be a naysayer. I don't necessarily believe in hair growth oils. I just think the attention that you pay to your scalp and the massaging, which helps with circulation, helps to promote hair growth. And so I just want the oil on my scalp to help with moisture. Okay, because it gets really dry, very dry. Okay, so then I'm going to take that oil and drag it down the rest of the hair just like this. And then I'm going to put a little bit more in my hands. Okay, maybe a little bit more than that, I don't know. I like to prayer hand it. I don't want to go overboard, but I don't know. I feel like I might do a little extra. Maybe not. A little tiny bit more. I always a little tiny bit more. It's because I'm high porosity. I blame everything on that. But that's always been the story of my life. Just a little bit more. A lot of bit more. Okay. So anyway, just going to continue to drag that through. I want my hair to be fully coated, especially down here at the ends, which I'm going to be gentle with. All of it, really. I don't really do any full-on raking, like a tiny bit, teeny bit, just to make sure it gets through all the strands, but no hardcore raking, kind of like when I do when I'm styling, because my hair's not detangled. This does kind of help start the process, though, for me. It's like, a pre-poo. That's what this is, really. So this does start the detangling process. Now that I think I like what I've done here, I'm going to take it and put it up in a Bantu knot, because that's just how I like to put the hair up. I think it gets the hair out of the way very nicely, and it fits up under all them caps and stuff that I'm going to put under my head, over my head. What are you saying? What are you trying to say? All the caps that I'm going to put on my head after I'm done, okay? There we go. It's going to fit under there nicely. That's all I'm trying to say. Mouth, you're not helpful. Post me on the save tea. Okay, so that'll stay, I hope. And I'm just going to do that all the way around. Oh, wait. One little tiny thing. I take a teeny bit and put it right at this hairline, because honey, she will take off. She will take off. And I'll just look up and it'll just be like white or really pale, whatever you want to call it. And it won't have no hair. And I don't feel like that's a good look. So there we go. Now I'm just going to do the same thing all the way around and finish talking to you about what had happened. So anyway, I think I had left off somewhere in the vicinity. I just like to interrupt myself one more time. I just take the excess oil and rub it on the hair, just to not waste it and not leave my bottles all slick when I go to, grab the next bottle and spray the water. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was just going around commenting, always nicely, always nice things. Your hair looks beautiful. Thank you for the good tips. You've been an inspiration in my hair journey, like literally, okay? Because I feel like we should just have nice things to say to each other and encourage each other, because that's just how I feel. Okay. Call me a bleeding heart or, kumbaya, whatever, I don't care. Just where I am with it. So, and I also just felt like, I know how helpful it is on this side if we get, engagement in the form of likes and comments. And so before I would just kind of watch a video, I'm like, nice video, and go on. And now I try to actually just step outside my comfort zone a little bit. And, if I really like the video or whatever, I'll say something. So I was just starting to kind of do that. Overall, I feel like most people were cool with it, but I don't think that all people were cool with it. And I say that because my name of my brand is Soap Witch Crafts. And I got videos somewhere on why I named it that. But long story short, my best friend actually named it because she said that she felt like all of my products were magical. First of all, if you don't have a BFF like mine, you need to get mine. Get you one. Get mine. You can't have mine. You get you one, because she is always speaking life into me, and I speak life into her, of course, because I feel like it should be a mutual thing. But she has always been my initial tester. Okay, like from the very first soap I made, any skin products, hair stuff, she has always been like the first person outside of me to test any of my products. So she's seen them all. She's seen them come and go, especially when I would just hit it right on the money. I mean, she would be so impressed. This is the person that one time, one time she had made folks stand in line. Actually, this is what led to the name. She had folks standing in line at her house trying this kind of unicorn soap. It was like 5 different colors, 4 or 5 different colors. Similar to what I make now, only it's 3 colors now. And I made it in a bigger jar, but it didn't work out. But I gave it to her, I think, as a test. And oh my God. So she overreacted, always in a good way though. We're melodramatic together. And so she had some friends, because she lives a little ways away from me, unfortunately. So we don't get to see each other as much, especially now that we're not working in the same office together anymore. She had some people that were just over. And some of them were mutuals. And they was like, I just want you to know your friend had us in line. She made us get in line and try the product. And I was like, yeah, I believe it. The more wild and ridiculous the story, the more likely it is to be true about her. I was like, girl, what was you doing? When I seen her, the next day at work, she's like, I'm just saying that they all had to try it. And she was like, Lauren, your products, they're just they're so magical. Like, I just see you downstairs just creating all kind of magic with your cauldron. She's really extra, have I mentioned it? Like some kind of soap witch. And I was like, pause. And the reason I was like, pause was because I was just Imagine Awakenings at the time, which I still have that brand, but I do just digital coloring books over there now. And so I was doing everything under the sun under there at the time though. A bunch of different types of jewelry, wire, beaded, polymer clay. I don't know what else. What else? I was making books, like planner journals, all of my skincare and hair care stuff. But I don't have time to go reminisce about it all now, but that's what I was doing. And I was starting to feel overwhelmed with having so many different things under one umbrella. And I wanted to move the Bath and Body skincare, hair care candles somewhere else. Okay. And so when she said, I hadn't really thought of a name or anything yet. And when she said that to me, I was like, that is so fun. That is so clever. Oh my God. So I fell in love with the name. And at first I was just going to do like soap witch, I think, but that wasn't available. And I was like, let's do soap witch craft, because I am very crafty. Crafty, that sounds suspicious the way I say it. I need to spray with water. That's what's going on. Okay, all over my glasses. Why am I going grayer on one side? Does anyone know? Like, I feel like I have more gray hair on this side. And then this whole eyebrow is just going to be white. And this one's still going to be brown. Like, it's weird. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, she named me Soap Witchcraft. I fell in love with the name. And it turned into, just what it is now. But I just thought it was so fun. And it allowed me to have fun with my brand in a way that I never had before, because at first it was just, I felt like it was stuffy and serious, and I'm not stuffy and serious. I don't know if you gotten any feel or gist of me from any of my videos. Stuffy and serious, not it. If you met my dad, you'd understand. So it gave me so much more, I feel like, freedom and artistic license to just have fun with it, because if you ever seen any of my listings, they're ridiculous, they're preposterous. The most of the website is like just reading any of the verbiage that I have there for most stuff. It's ridiculous, but it made me feel, I used to be a writer in a past life, okay, and it kind of helped me bring that element back into it, in the joy and fun, right? Because before I was just like, this is so serious, I'm gonna seriousness my way through this, and and I don't like making claims and, trying to suggest that certain ingredients can help with certain ailments, whether we like it or not. The FDA says that's a claim. And so I didn't want to be start over. I didn't want to be like using those type of claims to I feel like I want to be careful with my wording. To talk people or what am I trying to say? For instance, like, people are looking for cures to ailments, like skin issues. Eczema is a good one. So none of my products help with that. And maybe some of the ingredients might, but I've not tested it for that. And just because those ingredients might on their own, that doesn't mean that combined in the way that I combine them in a product doesn't mean that it's going to help you with that. And I don't want people thinking that I'm going to help with some ailment that I don't know if I'm going to help with. You know what I'm saying? And so when you get down those slippery slopes of saying that you can, like for hair care products, I don't talk about dandruff because that's a medical condition. And if someone thinks my product can treat dandruff, then the FDA will see my product as medicinal, and then I will have to follow those regulations as opposed to cosmetic. Very different. I know a lot of people think that the FDA is just willy-nilly and they let big pharma and all of them do what they want. It is the most heavily regulated industry, period. The way that you do your labels, they can't even put the pharmacy label on medicine. Like, there's so many things that are regulated down to the tiniest of T, and I'm like, nope. no. And then you also have to have testing trials to show that your product does what it's going to do, unless it's a supplement, and then you don't have to do anything because those are completely unregulated. Don't believe me? Look it up. Back to what I was saying. I'm careful. I didn't want to be sitting there trying to figure out how I can say how great my products are without leaning on things that look like claims. And so eventually I did kind of get there and figure it out. But changing my brand to something that I feel like allowed me to be more open and fun helped with that. Now, there's a certain group of people specifically that have certain belief systems, if you will, that are really strong feelings about my business name. I'm going to leave that at that. And so I don't really have any feelings about their feelings about my business name. I honestly don't care. They're not my target. And that's fine. Everybody's not my target. But I feel like before I started putting myself out there more and commenting and that kind of stuff, I really didn't have any trouble. And then all of a sudden, my page is not my page, but my YouTube is deleted. I'm like, okay. Started off with a thumbs down to now my channel's deleted. So, anywho, I didn't mean to throw that. About a week, I just kind of sat on it because I was like, gosh. After a while, I was like, I don't want to throw my channel away. And it's not a big channel. Cool. But I think I got a handful of people that might feel my vibe. They might be picking up what I'm putting down. And also, I have a lot of videos. I'm like 500 or something. And I was like, my whole hair journey is here. I kind of maybe don't want to throw that away. And so I thought about it and I worked on my feelings. And I was honestly glad I waited because I wasn't in the headspace to just try to send an appeal back. You got to go in there and type in what you feel. And I'm like, yeah, probably wasn't. I needed to wait. I needed to have that pause. And so I'm glad I waited. But then I reached back out to my friend. I was like, so I didn't send this appeal in. What do you suggest? He was like, yeah, I think you should send it in. And he gave me some good guidance on what I should type in my appeal. And so, less than 24 hours, I had my channel back. And I was really happy about that. And so I just decided that I'm going to watch people and comment from my personal account and just leave the posting of videos on this one. And I'm just going to post, check it periodically, make sure I'm not just completely ignoring somebody if they have a comment. But I'm not going to spend all of my waking moments hovering over this channel and waiting and seeing if people are interested in what I'm talking about. They either are or they're not. And I feel like me hovering over it just gives me anxiety, which I don't need help with. I already have plenty by myself. So I was glad I waited because, one, it did help me to realize that I do value my channel and I don't need to let other people determine my worth. That's my job, to determine my own worth and the worth of my channel. And I decided that it was worth keeping, that I do care about my channel and just my message of overall self-love, which in this case includes loving your own hair the way it comes out of your head and trying to nurture it the best you can. I feel like it's a really important message to share, and it's a good reminder for me on a regular basis. That was what happened that week. So then I was going to do a video the following week, and my child broke his ankle. My oldest, they just turned 18. Yeah, he was at a party with some friends at the skate rink. He can't skate, obviously. And I get a call from his phone, but the voice on the other side is decidedly high-pitched and female, and his voice is very not high-pitched. He's got a very deep voice like his father used to. And so I was like, oh shit, I already know this is bad. Like, already know this is bad. And so yeah, he's broke his ankle. So we go get him. Not only did he break it, he tore all the ligaments in it and had to have surgery. That was great. It's not great. That's me being sarcastic in case you can't tell. Because some people say they have trouble telling. Yeah, so he's been sitting. He actually has to follow up on Monday. I think he's been doing pretty well. And I think he's sick of it. I would be too. So the surgeon had said that he might get a boot when he followed up with him. It'll be his 2-week follow-up. Do I have enough on the ends on that? Maybe a teeny bit more. I'm just overdoing it at this point, but why not? I'm at the end. Anyway, I did my hair, but I did not have time to film it. And that was actually supposed to be the one that was the extended video. But I literally had to rush, wash my hair, run out, and go see him at the hospital because he was getting surgery that morning. The following weekend, which was last weekend, I just felt like utter garbage. And so I did still wash my hair, but neither of these last 2 weeks did I actually do a hot oil treatment. Like, it just didn't. I didn't have time to do it the previous week because Saturday night was actually the night that he broke it, and we were in the hospital literally the entire night. So I got home and I didn't get to bed until like 5 a.m. and there was no hot oil treatment. Last weekend I just felt like crap from what crud I caught, but oh my god, it was plaguing me. Like, seriously, there's rain and a tornado warning, and I hope I didn't miss the warning. Sorry, I'm just talking about right now. I hear this rain pummeling my window. I haven't heard any sirens or anything, so we're good. Yeah, last weekend I just felt like utter garbage. And so I didn't feel like a hot oil treatment and was like, well, maybe I'll feel like doing my hair the next morning. I didn't, but I got up and did it. I attempted to film it, but I did not attempt. I did film it, but I look so horrifically miserable that you're never going to see that video because, like, ew. Anyway, I've been missing because life has been lifing, and I was like, today we're going to do a hot oil treatment. That's right. And even though it is not what I usually plan it to, I'm just learning that everything doesn't go as planned, and I am still going to figure out how to get things in where they fit in. And so extended video is this week instead of 2 weeks ago. And here we are. So this is the hair that I lost from doing my hot oil treatments. Okay, not much. And now I'm going to put all my stuff on. Can I have it? It's just stuck. Oh my god. So first, I'm going to put on this plastic cap. And then on top of that, I'm going to put on this bonnet. And then, what is this? The really large scarf, yeah. Not what I used to call it, but whatever. No, it's the big giant scarf. That's usually what I call it. What does that matter? You knew what I meant. So I put all this stuff on my head. One, because I feel like it's good to insulate it. And ideally, in my mind, the insulation helps the hot oil treatment do its thing a little better. Takes my body heat and just maybe magnifies it a little bit. I don't know if it's been working, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Okay. And then also, it's just going to protect my bedding and my clothes from getting oil, which I didn't get oil on anything today. Look at me. Okay, progress. Anyway, so yeah, it's going to protect my bedding and my clothes from getting oil all over them because nobody wants that. Certainly not me. So anyway, I have some fun things in store for tomorrow if I actually get up and do what I'm supposed to do. I am going to do... What am I going to do? I'm looking over there like I can see it. A protein treatment, which I have never done on my hair before. But I just want to try it and see. I'm not going to overdo them. Some people do it like every time. I don't intend to do it every time. But I just want to see something. Y'all know how I like to do. And then, again, if I get up, I am going to, instead of using my hair mask, I am just going to use deep conditioner this week. Because I felt like let me rewind. Since I have the shower head filter, I feel like I can go back to testing out doing deep conditioner mostly in like once a month, the hair mask. And so I think that was what my plan was a couple years ago. And I think it went fine all up until I got rid of my shower filter the first time. So we just gonna see something. We gonna see. And so yeah, just those are the two main changes. I think we're gonna see how that goes and go from there. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna go to bed because I am tired. And I will see you in the morning. All right, so definitely not morning. Closer to evening. Whatever. I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take this down. I would prefer, obviously, to get this done in the morning as intended. But I was trying to also get some things done. And I was kind of also being lazy. I twist this in the opposite direction if I can remember which way that is to get the Bantu knot out. Okay. Anywho. So, yeah, it was part laziness. And then it was part I still needed to get some other stuff done. My youngest son decides that he wants his hair washed. Now, that's not a bad thing. And usually that is right along with what we usually do. My hair has usually been washed hours before he asked me to wash his. But today it's just not how it happened. To say it didn't happen the way it was expected. It's fine. That's what life is going to be. I'm fine. So we taking this down. Finally did this much needed hot oil treatment that I have not done in 2 weeks. So I did remember to do the things that I was supposed to do. That was one of the reasons why I got here so late. I mean, it ain't late to y'all. It's the same. But for me, it's late. So I made my deep conditioner. So I'm going to be using that, I don't know, the next couple of weeks or whatever, just to see. But instead of talking about it, let's just go ahead and do it.
All right, and on to the actual washing portion of this here video. So I'm going to thoroughly saturate my hair. Whenever I do a hot oil treatment, I like to make sure I give it an extra thorough rinse just to help the process of starting to get the oil out of my hair. But then I also feel like it helps spread whatever product I'm using. In this case, I'm about to shampoo. It helps it spread much easily, more thoroughly throughout the hair. And so I get as good results or better results while also using less products. And that is a plus if I do say so myself. So here I'm starting out with Whipped Wonder. Don't ask me why I'm tapping the side of the jar like that. There is no rhyme or reason. I'm just special. Anywho, so that's how much I'm using for my first wash. And then I'm going to stick my hair back under the shower and rub my hands together just to get the shampoo distributed between each hand sort of equally. I have a little bit more control over how and where I'm applying the shampoo. So here I'm just massaging my scalp to help get it clean, always with my fingertips, not my fingernails. Okay, because you want it clean, but you don't want it all scratched up and scarred up. No thanks. So I also make sure that when I wash my hair, I don't really get the mids and ends. There's controversy over whether you should or you shouldn't. You should just do what you want, okay, with your hair. But the reason that I do it this way is because that hair is older, tends to be more dry and more fragile, and so I just treat it, a little bit more tenderly, gingerly, whatever it is. I'm a little more cautious with it. So to get that hair clean, I just take the nice, delectable lather I have going there and drag it through the rest of the hair, and that just seems to do well enough for me. It all gets clean enough, and I do feel like, in my mind at least, it seems like I have retained more length that way. So when I'm rinsing, I like to use my hands to squeeze out excess product because I don't have patience and I feel like it takes less time. Okay, so here's going in with the second wash. Some people will say you should always do a second wash. I honestly don't. If I do a hot oil treatment, I do a second wash. If I'm straightening my hair, I do a third wash. But if I don't have any product in my hair and I'm not going to straighten it, I just do one wash. So anyway, the second wash, you saw, okay, the tiny amount of shampoo that I use and how much insane lather I'm getting just from that little bit. Of course, a big part of that is making sure I stick my hair under the shower water and my hair is absolutely saturated and sopping wet before I start lathering up. So yeah, same old process. You're gonna do the same thing that we did on the first wash. And I'm just going to take all that wonderful suds and drag it through the hair. It's one of my favorite parts because it's fun. And I like to play in the suds, okay? So, again, rinsing it out, using my hands to squeeze out some of that shit, especially with the shampoo. I ain't trying to leave any of that behind. So, now I'm going ApHogee. Is that how you say it? You can see the bottle, right? All right, so this is the protein treatment that I'm using. It says to leave it in for 2 minutes. Or 5 minutes if you really need help. So there's another one where there's like a 2-step thingy. That's not this one. This is just a 1-step. But I also read that when you're doing a protein treatment, you want to add moisture back in. So that's why I followed up with deep conditioning. Well, I will be following up with deep conditioning. But anyway, it said to use like 1 ounce or some little piddly amount, which I sort of tried to stick with, but I honestly just felt like that wasn't quite enough for my hair. So I went back in with just a little bit more for the back and applied that in. I didn't use a whole lot, not like I do when I'm deep conditioning. I tried to stick with the instructions and what they said, but I just wanted to make sure that all my strands were thoroughly coated. I've never done a protein treatment before, as I said earlier, so I wanted to stick to as close as, what the instructions said as possible. So now that I've got it all the way in there, I just let it sit, oh my god, for about 2 minutes, and then I went ahead and rinsed it out. Again, just taking my hands like I usually do and using that to help squeeze out product. And I just rubbed it my scalp and stuff too, just to make sure I didn't leave anything behind. I mean, I don't know. I just want to don't want to leave anything behind. That's the end of it, okay? So a thorough rinsing. That's what I'm going for here. And, parts that I usually cut out, like when I go to part my hair, because when I'm doing a wash and go, I literally like to part my hair at least somewhere in the vicinity of the way I'm going to wear it. I don't know why, it's just how I do it. But I usually cut that out. But this being an extended wash and go, I just left, some of these things in that I would usually cut. So then I also take my hair and just sort of split it in 2 equal sections. And then I put one side up. It's really, the side I put up is actually my right side. It just looks like it's my left side because of the way we're facing. But anyway, that really doesn't matter. Small, minute details. Sorry. Trying to tell you that I'm sorry. So I'm going to put that up. That's the point. And I'm going to work with one side. And I like to make sure my hair is fully saturated. You're going to have to, that's Tempting Tonic. That's my deep conditioner. It's nice and thick. She's not as thick as Twilight Tempest deep conditioning hair mask, but she's still pretty thick. And so as I was going through editing this video, I had realized that I don't know why a piece of shed hair ended up on the bridge of my nose, and it absolutely drove me bonkers the entire time I was editing. I'm sorry, these are just the small things that I just can't let go of. A little obsessive, I know, but it irked the crap out of me. I wanted to scrap the whole video. I didn't want to scrap, but part of me did. Anyway, going in with the unbrushed, because that's what matters here at this point. After I thoroughly, made sure that I thoroughly incorporated the deep conditioner into my hair, I'm just going in with the unbrushed and I'm going to detangle my hair. So as you can see, even though this is a different deep conditioning product, that unbrush is just gliding right through. As I had stated before, I wasn't playing no games when it came to the slip of any of my conditioners, because that was like top level importance to me. Absolutely, I want my hair to feel soft and moisturized, but honey, I need to be able to get a brush or comb through it. And since my hair was so incredibly tangly, I felt like slip was of the utmost important when I was formulating my conditioners, any and all of them. And so with very much ease, you can see that I am getting through detangling this hair. It's so funny. I used to absolutely dread detangling my hair. I used to dread wash day because of detangling. I'm like, let's just cut it all off. I did that once. I had a bob. If I would have known what I was doing then, kind of like I have some idea now, I probably still have hair that length. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was what they call a straight natural then. But so when I first went natural, we didn't have all these different delineations or whatever for naturals. If you didn't have a relaxer, you were a natural, period. That was it. We didn't have all these little sections and stuff. The straight naturals over here, whatever other natural over there, whatever. It's like, it's just a lot of labeling happening. I don't really like labels, except on products. They look real pretty on products. Anywho, as you can see, I've pretty much come to the end of the detangling of that whole half of my head. I have forgot to add the oil, and so I just dumped that on after the fact. Hey, it's better late than never. That's how I felt about it. So I just put it on there and make sure it was nicely incorporated before I went ahead and braided it up and just got the hair out of the way. But yeah, I didn't want to skip that step, even though I did it at the end, because I really do feel like it has been beneficial. My hair has been really super soft and moisturized since I started adding that step. I think my son has agreed, because now he won't let me skip it when I wash his hair neither. So I usually just show you one side, but since this is the extended wash and go, I'm going to show you detangling the other side. So that's how much I'm using. And again, just wanted to make sure I put it on completely saturated hair, because just like with the shampoo, it makes the product spread easier throughout the hair, and I feel like I can get excellent results while using less product. So I like to make sure it's fully incorporated. I did not forget the oil this time. And I'm just going to make sure I apply that everywhere, and I am just going to proceed on with the brush and continue with detangling this whole half of my head. So yeah, with the labeling and sectioning off us naturals, I was still pretty much what you'd call a straight natural at that time. I didn't know nothing about how to get a wash and go going, or what my curl pattern actually really looked like for the most part. And it was trained straight, as in heat damaged. That's just trained straight, just means heat damage. I'm sorry, you can fight me about it and we'll agree to disagree. I'm just gonna disagree, but that's what it is. And so when I had shorter hair, it just, believe it or not, it's harder for me to straighten shorter hair, like to get it in the sections and move the hair out the way and all that other stuff. It just seemed like it was more labor intensive. And then, like, you don't have the benefit of the ponytail or the poof to fall back on, and you're kind of limited as to what styles you can do too, just because of the length of your hair. And I was like, let me just grow back. Just never mind the short hair is cute or whatever, but let's just grow back. So that's when I started. It was about 2019ish. That was when I started the hair journey of just learning how to really care for my hair, love on my hair, figure it out, and just appreciate the hair that grew out of my scalp, however it grew out of my scalp. And so it needed a lot of tender loving care, which is how I ended up formulating several of these conditioners, because I was like, man, my hair needs a little help. She seemed a little damaged, and it was damaged initially, and the front was so bad that, again, it looked like a Brillo pad. Like, it just, you could tell that it wasn't healthy, and the ends looked scraggly and terrible. You could tell it wasn't healthy. And I just learned different practices and techniques and products eventually on how to just help my hair be the best it could be. So I'm gonna braid this up, and what I've been doing here recently has been to just cover it up with a plastic cap, just to help my body heat do a little something extra. That's how much hair I didn't lose. Very little. And so yeah, there's the cap. I knew I was gonna get there eventually. But yeah, for us high porosity people, we don't really need to sit under the dryer. You can if you like, but it's really not necessary. And so I just put on the cap while I'm in the shower until I'm finished showering and whatever else I want to do, and then I just take it off, take my hair down. So I'm a hum and haw for a couple seconds, because I'm debating on if I want to take all of the hair down, or if I want to do what I used to do, which was leave the part up that I didn't plan on applying product to, and kind of rinsing each section out as I go. So that obviously that's what I ended up going with. When I used to do my whole like styling in the shower, I would do 4 sections, and I would take down one section at a time, and then I would do all the stuff to the one section and move to the next section after I was finished with the first one. So I don't know if that sounds confusing. Sorry if it is. So I'm just using Mysterious Magnificence moisturizing spray here, and what I like to do is apply enough so that when I rake through my hair that I see a little bit of foaming action. I'm not looking for mousse type foaming action, but this little bit of something that you see there, you can see a little bit on my hands and a teeny bit of like white on the top. That's what I'm looking for. And then I'm going in with Sultry Sorcery, my leave-in conditioner, and that's how much I'm going to apply to the whole half of my head, and I'm just going to pop that on there. I don't know why I said it like that. Last time I applied it to soaking wet hair, and this qualifies because I applied the spray to soaking wet hair, and it still kind of has a similar effect, if you will, because the spray is just there for extra moisture for me. And so I'm just putting my leave-in conditioner on that, and I'm just putting the hair up to ideally, one, just keep it out of the way, but hopefully keep it from drying out as fast. So just going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Take the braid down, rinse out the hair, apply the spray, and put the leave-in in. And I honestly was just doing it this way. I just wanted to see how well it worked. If maybe I was on to something before when I used to do it this way. Maybe my spray bottle might act right. I don't know. But this is all just me testing and seeing and figuring out, because some of the things I used to do were really good. And sometimes, when I get to testing new things, I forgot the things that I used to really like, and I like to incorporate them back in, sometimes in a modified type way. So I'm finally coming to the end of this portion with me showering and washing my hair. And now that that's all done, it's time to style.
Okay. I feel all refreshed or whatever. Let's move along. So as you see, I got new clips. A different brand. Probably should have put a towel on my shoulder. Let's just do that. I want to do something. Let's fix my part. That's what I'm doing. So yeah, I got some new clips. They're cute. Okay. I intentionally made sure that they were not the same brand as the other ones I had, because they fell apart in 5 minutes. Okay, I said I was fixing my part, didn't I? And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I am going to use the protein treatment. Yeah, that's good enough, whatever. I'm gonna use the protein treatment. I don't know, a couple more times this month, I think. And see, it's gonna be time to flat iron my hair, I think, in 2 weeks, because I'm supposed to do it in March. So I'm supposed to do it in March. I kind of like to do it at the beginning of the month, because how I like doing it. So I do September and March typically, every 6 months. Okay, so it's about that time. I said I fixed my part, but I still think it looks kind of crappy. My hair is still somewhat parted, I guess, the way I want it to be overall, or separated, however you want to say it. So I'm just going to stick this hair back up here. It's still pretty much full of moisture. Because I did load it down there in the shower. I just did decide I was going to try it, like, the variation of what I used to do. I've already explained this, and let's not do it again. But anywho, now I'm going to go ahead and apply the product. Well, the styling products. So I'm doing a 2 gel wash and go today. So I'm going to be using the custard first and then the stronghold gel on top of it, because I think that's what I did before. But that's what I'm going with. It's not what I did before. That's what I'm doing today. I do think that's what I did before. So I'm going to separate this hair, put this section away. I'm not really putting it away. Here we go with that again. Just out of the way, really. And fight with the clip. Okay. Never mind. Put this up. Oh, girl. What did you clip? Not your hair. Okay. It's pretty sopping wet. I don't actually think I need to add any water. All right. So I'm just going to start off with my aloe vera curl custard enchanted concoction. And I'm going to take that much to start with. And I'm probably going to need more, but I'm going to start with that. I just like to start with less than what I need and build until I get where I want to be, because that's what I like to do. That looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because I had everything in there when I first got out of the shower. It didn't look bad before I applied the stuff. Okay. We're gonna go a little more though. Guess I don't need to go overboard, right? A little more. I feel like this bottom needs a little more. I always rub it in between my hands before I apply it. They call that emulsifying it. I don't know if that's just warming it up. Because like when I emulsify stuff, this being a maker, when I emulsify something, I'm usually putting a oil and a liquid that doesn't go together, like water or aloe vera juice, and then adding, a medium, whatever you want to call it, lye in the case of soap, or some kind of wax, emulsifying wax, to, make them join together in a way that they otherwise wouldn't. So when I hear emulsify, that's what I think, but I don't think that's what they mean. So a part of me thinks they just warming it up, but it could be something else to that. Maybe one day I will cross a video that just explains it a little more thoroughly, because I'm very literal and I get confused. I think that looks good. I'm running out my words together, real sorry. Now it's time to go in with Slick Sorcery. And my hands are slippery and I can't get it open. Okay, let me just. Who put that on like that? So I don't know how much I'm gonna need. Let's not do too much. Yeah. Gonna rub that in between my hands too. And see, this towel isn't gonna last long because I'm hot. But I was trying to keep from getting product all over my shirt. I don't think I'm gonna care though, because the way that it's warm in here. Okay. Yeah, not a fan. I did have the little heater on that I have in my bathroom, but I turned it off. And now it's 75 degrees above here. Okay. It's really nice when I get out the shower, but then after I've been out for a while, I'm like. So I like to just thoroughly work the product into my hair with a rake and press. And press. Okay. Make sure that I'm just getting it in there. But I like to rake to make sure I get the product all the way in there, but I feel like the pressing just makes it look like a little bit more polished. I don't know, I just be saying stuff. When I was looking back at old videos, because that's what I do, I have felt like when I made sure I did a little more pressing, the hair just looked more polished. It just looked better. I could just be crazy. So that's it for that section. Again, another reason that I was happy that I did not stay melodramatic and decided to get my channel back, because then I would not have been able to, review back on those videos that I like to do so much. This part down here looks pretty wet, but up here it's like kind of want to be a little dry, so I'm going to add more water. That's my struggle here anyway, so just want to help it out. So that looks good. I'm going to go in with the custard now. Custard. Like, complete your words, woman. Say the full word. Okay. I just am used to talking so fast, and it has driven my mother absolutely mad. Literally my whole entire life. I'm the worst when I get excited, apparently. So yeah, excuse me if I just get to going off real fast on a tangent, talking too fast. It just means I'm excited. Okay, so a little more, maybe a little more than a little. Always fighting with this right here, because that's where my hair definitely wants to frizz against my will. So yeah, anyway, I am super glad that I decided to fight for my channel. It really wasn't that much of a fight, like I said, because I just quickly sent in, hey, because I checked out the policy. I was like, I'm not violating, right? And of course I read it and I was like, yeah, no, I'm nowhere near close to violating it. And so now I've just decided that it's best to like I said yesterday, which is still today for you guys, to just do all my commenting and visiting from my personal page and leave it at that. So I don't, maybe get reported for apparently being spammy. I am glad though that I decided that I was worth it, because it really isn't just about my channel. My channel's about me. And so I decided that I was worth it. I was worth the effort. And, just speaking up for myself and knowing what was right. And being able to keep all of that, for me, very valuable info. Because as we've talked before, more like I've talked, and perhaps you've listened a little more, maybe. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah. I use my YouTube channel kind of as a hair journal. And so I like to be able to go back, see what I was doing, why was I doing it, and how was it serving me. And it's what I recommend, everyone else does. Not have a YouTube channel necessarily, but a hair journal, which I do offer a digital one. It's in the description below. But I really think that tracking my hair journey and really just, tracking my hair journey really. But it's not quite, did you track it? Is that what I'm trying to say? Girl, what are words? They always are just eluding me. just being able to go back and review what I did, what products did I use, how did I use them. I just like to take a clip and clip this hair out of the way so I don't restyle the same hair again. Okay, now like I said, benefits to doing bigger sections is that it takes my hair, it has less time to dry. But maybe there also is something to going back to adding some of this stuff on my hair while it's sopping wet from the shower, because usually my hair is definitely dried more than this by now. And so interesting. For people like me, it's high porosity people, we're trying everything we can to keep, our hair from drying out, hold on to some kind of moisture. So yeah, like I've said before, I don't want to go all the way back to styling it in the shower because I just don't enjoy that. But I think there's a nice happy medium there, So, anywho, I was saying something. This happens every time. Oh yeah, the hair journal and tracking the hair journey, which I do feel like it's important because, being able to go back and see what I did and how I did it and why I did it that way sometimes, leads me to believing, I should go back to that. Like, for instance, I'll test something and it works decently and I'll stick with it, not, remembering that it was supposed to be a test. And then I'll go back and be like, wait, why did I stop doing it that way? Because maybe that's better. And so, having my YouTube version of my hair journey kind of helps me with that, not kind of just does. And so I kind of was having that experience when I got my channel back. And when I was looking through videos of just when I had styled my hair, it's a year ago. And I was just like, some parts of it, were definitely working for me. It is fun to try stuff, but it's always good to remember what did work and why. And sometimes you just go back to, your basics, my basics, whatever those basics are. Sometimes I kind of mix things up, bring some old into the new, because like I'm doing now, where I do add some of the products in the shower, but not all of them. And the raking and pressing, going back to doing bigger sections, and just realizing, I don't know why, but my hair just seems to respond better to doing bigger sections. Maybe not the whole half of my head at a time when I'm doing this super extra lazy wash and go, but I did feel like when I was doing the much smaller sections that again, look back on some old videos And I was like, felt like my hair looked better when I was doing bigger sections. So like, let's do that then. So that's kind of why you see me backing off of what I had been testing. And I tested that for like, I don't know, a month or two or something. It was a while. And the hair, it looked good. Like, it didn't look bad, but you just know when you like, it could look better though. That's where I was. That's where I was with it. So, I went back and looking at some stuff where, to me, the style just did look better. And I don't know why. It's very confusing to me why it would look better with me doing it in larger sections, but I feel like it does. And for me, this is going to sound crazy, I get less flakes. Weird. I know. I don't have any answers for you. So, interestingly enough, I also kind of found out when I was looking at the stylist I was talking about a couple weeks ago on the Glam Fam channel. Linwood, that's his name, I think. I'm bad with names, so don't give me the line. He was talking about hair type, the number letter system. And I've always suggested that I thought that the thing that it was really good for knowing was styling, as far as like what your styles may look like, and maybe what styles might be best to do. Now, I've seen people of all hair types, all the way to 4C, do wash and goes, and it looked really good. So, because I hear people arguing on the internet, 4C hair can or can't do this. I've never seen the thing that it can't do. But I found it fascinating when he was talking about the type 4s, and the A, B, and C, and he said that 4A and 4C were more curls or coils, right? And 4B is more of a zigzag, and you can absolutely see the zigzag. It's a zigzag. And I was like, okay. Now I always thought that, because I've always said instead of a really tight curl, it always looked like a really tight wave to me. And so that also, he says, lends it to being better for different styles. Like, so even though I do twist outs really well, I have noticed that, man, I don't know why, but I just fell in love with braid outs, because braid outs tend to work a little better, because like with the zigzag, it's kind of already in that shape, if that makes sense, because braid out looks more like a zigzag than a curl, in my opinion. And so like, it makes sense then why I just kind of have fallen in love with a braid out, though I've seen some very pretty braid outs on some very curly hair as well. But he was saying, twist outs look better on the other types. And I was like, that's fascinating. And that was just kind of like a small part of the conversation. You check him out if you want to see more of it. But so like things like that matter more. And when he was talking about porosity, because he had a video on that too, that is absolutely more about how you get moisture into your hair, and then how you get moisture to stay in your hair, depending on your hair type. And obviously low porosity hair has a harder time getting moisture in its hair, but he said it was the healthiest hair type because it retains it. Like, once you get it in there, it ain't coming out. That is not coming out, but it's going to stay there for a nice long while. It's going to stay moisturized much longer than all the other hair types. And that's ideal. And so he actually said to treat normal porosity hair like high porosity. I was like, wow. But that's just because you're wanting to retain as much moisture as possible, which I get. And then there could be like mixtures of porosities. Like, you can have low medium, or just low, or just medium, or medium high, or just high. And then you can have different ones, like different porosities on the same head of hair, which that makes sense, because I think that I might be medium high, mostly high. My son actually has very low porosity in the front. It's very funny. We're very opposite. He's very low porosity in the front. I'm very high porosity in the front. But in the very back, just the section right in the back, he's high. He's definitely high. And I was like, that's kind of wild. But his was the first experience where I've seen just kind of wildly different hair types on the same head. But you can see in your own hair, like, aside even from doing the test, which, could be faulty if you don't like test hairs all around your head, because just one hair might not cut it, like, especially for someone like my son who has multiple hair types. Then, also it could depend on your water. Like if you have hard water, we have very hard water here. And so, like, it could kind of alter the test because hard water will prevent like moisture from really getting into your hair. And so it may make your hair behave differently, than its natural state, if you will. So that's also interesting, but I can just tell from the state of my hair, especially with like the way my hair absorbs water like a sponge. And then, like, if it doesn't have product in it, see, it took a while to dry because it had product in it. But if I just were to, and you probably saw it when I was washing my hair earlier, while I was conditioning one side, I took it down and the other side was already trying to dry. It's definitely high porosity. And so, like, my son, his hair would have still been dripping. So, like, you can kind of tell if your water hangs on to water. If your water hangs on to water, okay. Just sound ridiculous now. If your hair holds on to water like there's no tomorrow and it's just dripping and dripping and it just never seems to dry, you probably got low porosity hair. Or you might lean toward that might be what you have. And, like, I think a lot of people that are normal porosity can't tell, or it doesn't matter to them because they don't have a lot of issues getting water into their hair, and their hair doesn't dry out as fast as mine would. Because my hair is ready to dry out immediately. Without products, it's a cotton puff. Like, it don't even look like it has a curl pattern when it dries. And y'all seen it if you've seen, some of those videos. So there's other ways I think to tell besides the whole cup of the hair and the cup of water test. Because I didn't even need that test. I just knew what kind of hair I had. So anywho, just some more chit chat about the hair stuff. But I'm like done with this styling. And so here are the wet results. Okay. You can see it's good enough. You saw enough, didn't you? Okay. I'm going to dry my hair. Now here I go changing stuff up again. I'm debating on sitting under the dryer for 10 minutes and then coming back and diffusing just, my roots and stuff, getting those. And just seeing, because I've seen some people do that. I don't know if it really makes a difference or if they just like doing that because they don't want to hold the diffuser for as long, which I don't either. So I'm going to just test that out and we're going to see, and then I'm going to stretch it. Okay. But anyway, the wet results look pretty good so far. If you want to see how I usually diffuse my hair, I'll pop a video there so you can see it. All right, be right back. Okay, so I'm mostly dry here. I don't like 90%, 95%. It's mostly dry. So I don't know how I feel about it sitting under the hooded dryer and then diffusing my roots, but I may give it a couple more tries just to see how I feel. I usually, unless it's just horrible, I will try something more than once. So anyway, this is what we're looking like right now. That's what we're looking like. I'll say that one more time. You get it. This is where we are. So, wait, let me start. So, I'm gonna do something. I usually just let my hair rest for like 15 minutes or so just because I just think I'd be wanting to rest and I'll just be blaming it on my hair. Okay, so I'm gonna let it rest because that's what I usually do. And then I'm gonna lift my roots. I'm gonna stretch my hair and lift my roots off camera. When I come back, it's all gonna be done. But I'm gonna pop a video here of how I usually do that. Okay, see you in a bit. As usual, I'm unprepared or something because my battery trying to tell me is low. I feel like I can make it 15%. That's good. That's beside all the point. Okay, so this is the final results, the final look, the hair. Okay, I feel like it's looking pretty good. Defined, stretched. Okay, let me get you to 360. Okay. All right. So this tip, we'll of course see how it lasts throughout the week, but I don't see why it wouldn't last very nicely. From the first time I tried it, I always did like the 2 gel styling. I always thought it looked good, and yeah, I do think that my hair looks just as good or better with doing bigger sections. So I think I'm going to continue doing what I've been doing, which is splitting it into 4 sections each and just styling each of the 4 sections. Before I was doing 4 sections, but then I would, like when I would get, it all split up, I would take one section and then still split it in half. So I don't know. I just don't think my hair needs all that. Like I said, I think it looks just as good or better doing it this way. So I'm going to give this a go for a while. I may even just see how it looks doing the whole half of my head one wash day just to see. But anywho, I'm good here for a minute, and I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It looks really good this week, and I like how it turned out. I already talked about the hair journal. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description below. It's a digital, It's a digital hair journal, so there's like nothing to ship or no waiting. Once you purchase it, you can just download it. And you can download as many pages as you want at a time, as many times as you like. No matter how many hair journeys you have, you can always go back to it. So every product that I used today was Tropical Fantasy scented. It is my current favorite scent, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. But if you don't like tropical fantasy type pineapple-y things, I also have lemon pound cake, an apple fragrance, lavender peppermint, spearmint eucalyptus. Did I already say lemon pound cake? Maybe. Okay. If I didn't, lemon pound cake. If I did, I said it again. So, and strawberry patchouli. Yeah, no, I was missing one. I also have unscented for those who are sensitive to fragrances, because I know that's a thing. So yeah, all of those and every hair product that I offer. Okay, what you think about today's lip gloss? It's real hard to keep in your face, so I guess I won't be doing it today. But this is just, a simple silver glitter, which I'm a fan of because it looks good all by itself, or it looks good paired with something else. It's really hard to go wrong. Anyway, if you're interested in checking that one out, I got a link for that below as well. And I also have a link below for all of the products that I used today. And if you're interested in getting multiple products, I also have a bundle and save type thing for that as well. All listed below in the description if you're interested. So, anywho, I have been working on my resin stuffs. My usual puzzle piece earrings have been replaced by these like feather, I don't know if you can see that. They're like feather shaped earrings. I thought the mold was cool, so I went with it. So yeah, I have been practicing. I had said I was going to practice, and I have been. I put out like a video. I don't know if I did a second video. My friend took helping me with the editing, so once we get that all squared away, there'll be some more of those to come out too, because I've done a couple. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I did miss resin. I do love working with it, so there will be more. These were all practice, so none of these are on there, but I did want to just play around with practicing with like different molds and see, just seeing what I could see. So anyway, there's gonna be some more because I made a lot of test pieces, and I did a video of me like turning the resin pieces into earrings, because earrings, like a lot of resin pieces like bowls and ashtrays and stuff, once you take it out the mold, they're done. Earrings, they're not. You gotta take the extra strap. Okay. What? You have to take the extra step, girl. Yeah. You have to add the hardware, to make it an earring. The jump rings, the hooks, all that. Anywho, just want you to know I've been having fun with that, and there will be some new stuff eventually hitting the site once I decide that I'm like done practicing and I'm ready to put the stuff out there for real. But in the meantime, I do have a couple of resin earrings from before when I wasn't out of practice. So you can check that out. I have a link for that below. Anywho, that is all I've got for this video. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you hanging out with me. I know time is our most precious commodity, and I appreciate that you're willing to spend any of it with me. So With that being said, if you like what you saw today, if you got anything out of it, or you were just entertained, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and giving this video a like, that does help out. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one, friends. Bye.